But the Lord is in his holy temple, and all the earth keeps silence before him. Amen. Be seated. Wow. Devotional scripture. Read from the New Testament, book of Jude. Only one chapter. We'll read verses 1 through 7. Jude, verses 1 through 7. Jude is that book in the Bible that comes just before the book of Revelation. Amen. Jude, the servant of Jesus Christ and brother of James, to them that are sanctified by God the Father, preserved in Jesus Christ and called, mercy unto you and peace and love be multiplied. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. But there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness, denying the only Lord God and our Lord Jesus Christ. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness, unto the judgment of the great day, even as Sodom and Gomorrah, the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication, going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Father, we stretch our hands to thee, for no other help we know. Oh, yes. If thou withdraw thyself from us, all whither shall we go? Have mercy. We thank you, Heavenly Father, that we have come once again to this point in our worship service experience, wherein we partake of your preached word, your rhema word, your living word. We pray as your seed word, your living word goes forth, it will find large needs of our souls. You know the sustenance. You know the strength. You know what it is that each of us needs, Lord God. So we pray that you would send forth your seed word appropriate for each one of us, Lord God. That your word will sink deep within it. The tree planted by the rivers of waters in our lives, fit for the cause of the kingdom of Jesus Christ, bringing forth its fruit in its season. Yes. We pray for the preacher that he be filled with thy Holy Spirit. If you have, thy Holy Spirit be poured out upon us, such that when we leave this place we'll say, and that our hearts burn within. The man of God spoke to us along the way. In the right hand we commend these thy people, body, soul, and spirit, for Christ's sake. Amen. Amen. Now we read in your hearing from the book of Jude. Jude only has one chapter. We read verses 1 through 7. We're going to return now to Jude, and we're going to look at verse 3, wherein we find these words in the King James language, translation, I should say. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you, and exhort you that you should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. Read it again. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you, and to exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. And we want to focus in on that phrase. Earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. I'm sure all of us here, being adults, at some point in time, and I know all of us drive or have driven, and so we all have had experience at some point in time of being asleep at the wheel. Can I get an amen? If you've been like me, I used to like to go up and down the road from time to time. It'd be nothing for me to wake up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and decide I want to make a trip to South Carolina. I would jump in the car, and of course, obviously I'm talking about some time ago, and I just drive straight to South Carolina, and I'd get there around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and my aunt would say, John, what you doing down here? How long you going to be here this time? I say 5 or 6 o'clock. They say, boy, you crazy. And I would hang around with my cousins or whatever for a few hours, and I'd turn around and drive back up to D.C. You didn't say I can't do that anymore. But the point is, from time to time, thank you, bless you, from time to time, I would find myself asleep at the wheel. I can remember my father-in-law took me ill, had a heart attack in Georgia. Got somebody sitting here who remember that. I don't know if she remembers a couple times when I was rushing down the road, I went asleep at the wheel. And I woke up, and I was still on the highway. It had to be the Lord. Now, the point being, there have been times that we all have been asleep at the wheel. What I want to suggest this morning is that the church has been asleep at the wheel for a long time. The writer here in Jude, who is reputed to be one of the brothers of Jesus Christ, is admonishing, even back then, he's admonishing the church that we need to be careful. He's admonishing us and reminding us that if we are not careful to remain faithful to what we have been taught, amen, there's some folks that are just waiting for the opportunity to creep in and start messing things up. So today, as we celebrate the communion, the Passover, the death, burial, and resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Jesus said that we would do this. We will partake of the bread and the fruit of the vine until he return. He said, I go to prepare a place for you, and I will come again and receive you unto myself. And where I go, there you may be also. I will come and receive you. In other words, he's promising that we have hope. And we will just hold out. But the writer here in Jude is trying to tell us that it's not enough to just have church. It's not enough to claim allegiance or devotion to whatever ism or schism the so-called church leaders come up with. The writer here in Jude is saying we must remain faithful to the faith that we received from the apostles, the men who walked with Jesus. Yeah. So, as we talked earlier before we got started with the worship service, we got a whole lot of things going on in the church today that's passing from Christianity that has really nothing to do with the teachings of Jesus Christ. Indeed, it was earlier stated that some people, and I've heard the argument myself, that Jesus was a communist. Well, no, Jesus was not a communist. He wasn't a socialist. He wasn't a fascist. He was just Jesus. The Word of God. Jesus said, I came to fulfill the Word. I came to fulfill the law. And so, the Word of God, the law is that if you don't work, you don't eat. Well, that's not socialism. That's not communism. Because the communists and the socialists believe that everybody's entitled to eat. And the Bible's not saying you're not entitled to eat. The Bible is saying that if you don't work, you don't eat. The Bible is saying that you're not supposed to take from what I have to give to somebody who doesn't work. Now, if he's sick, if he's disabled, that's another matter. But you and I know that we have a system in place in our society that encourages people to not work, but to live off the largesse, to live off the livelihoods of those who go to work. Can I get an amen? Mm-hmm. Now, let me hasten to say, all right, let me hasten to say that I've been there myself. I can remember 45, 50 years ago, well, not quite 50 years ago, but 45 years ago, well, not quite 45, probably 43, 44. It would be nothing to get a job for 6 or 7 months. Can I get an amen? And go ahead and quit the job. And go down the next week and start drawing out the phone. Can I get an amen? But that's not right. That's not right. That's against the teachings of the Bible. And what happens is we can, for whatever's going on in our lives, we can get sucked up or get caught up in the things that sound good. And Lord knows it feels good to sleep till 10, 11 o'clock in the morning and go down to the unemployment office and tell a lie and get a check. Amen. But it's not good. It's not good. It's not right. And let me move on with another anecdote. Lest someone say I'm picking on the urban people. We're living in a time where farmers are being paid to not grow crops. Well, that's not right. The farmer should be allowed to farm and take his produce to the market. And if the truth be told, and this really shows how whacked out we are in our society, instead of eating the corn and the greens and the watermelon and the bananas and whatever, not bananas because you can only grow them in certain places, but instead of eating the vegetables and the fruits that are grown somewhere around where we live, instead of eating the meat and drinking the milk that's made from animals and cows and so forth where we live, we will buy from China and other places and ship it in and pay the farmers where we live not to grow. There's something wrong with that. And to show that how cockeyed it is and how whacked it is, the food that is grown in the soil where you live is the food that is the healthiest for you. When you eat food from us elsewhere, you don't know where that food has been. The ground elsewhere is not the ground it's not the air you breathe every day. It's not the ground that you walk on. It's not healthy for you. And add insult to injuries, we now using those GMO products, those genetically modified products, which have been proven not to be healthy. So, yet the church condones all of this. And you will say, well, that doesn't have anything. Yes, it does. It has everything to do with the church. Because the preacher, the pastor condones this behavior. The pastor condones people being paid not to work. Well, let me give one more anecdote because I think I saw the left is still hanging. I want to make sure this is an equal opportunity beatdown. Just this past week, I believe it's Wisconsin, has entered in an agreement with some Korean company or some other company with the blessings of the President of the United States, giving this company billions of dollars of tax write-offs and other incentives because the company, I think it's called Foxconn, has promised to hire these 13,000 people from that state. Y'all remember hearing about this past week? Well, the point I'm trying to get at is that's a form of welfare. To give a company tax write-offs and other incentives is taking your money and my money, putting it in the hands of the owners of that company to encourage them to do what it is that they're saying they're going to do. And you know historically what happens. They come in, they get the tax write-off for a few years, they sell off the company to somebody else and they go on and the company folds. It's just like we've got these big entertainment corporations that we give all these tax incentives. We give them 10 or 15 acres of land and tell them to build a stadium on it. We give them money to build the stadium. We give them all these incentives to get small businesses and women in there. They give them contracts and everything. And a few years they're gone and everything folds again. And in other words, they're already billionaires and we keep giving them $1 billion tax-free. And we wonder why nobody ever gets here. Well, the point I'm trying to get across here, all that sounds good. But the Bible tells us that if you don't work, you don't eat. The Bible tells us you're only supposed to get what you work for. Now, at the same time, let me hasten to say, if you invest your money wisely, then you're supposed to get some money back from your investment. The point I'm trying to get across here is that there's a lot of things that have come up the pipe or down the pipe that have been accepted by Christianity that are not necessarily Christian. And if you notice what the writer here says in the very first verse, he says, Jude, the servant of Jesus Christ, and brother of James, to them that are sanctified by God the Father, and preserved in Jesus Christ, and called. He's saying that everybody in church is not called. He's saying that everybody that talks about Jesus ain't necessarily really worshiping Jesus. He's saying there are a lot of folks on the road that are not really on their way to heaven. And so, again, he's cautioning us that we need to be careful and that we need to understand and we need to study our own faith. A lot of us don't open the door for Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses and whoever else may come down the pipe because we don't really know what the Bible says ourselves. And so we need to study our word that we may be proven workmen and we need not to be ashamed. On this Communion Sunday, we need to emphasize what it is that was passed down to us. What was passed down to us that God promised in the garden when man fell that he was going to one day redeem man through the seed of the woman. What was passed down was that God performed what he promised when Jesus was born, suffered, bled, and died on the cross. God fulfilled that promise. That's what was passed down to us. That God has kept his word, and that we need to understand that faith without works is dead. It's not enough to recite scriptures. It's not enough to come to church on Sunday and sing the hymns and shake hands and give hugs and kisses. It's what you do when you leave the church that counts. So Jude, the writer, is endeavoring to get us to understand that it's easy to get caught up in the things that sound Christian or God-like. It's easy to get caught up. I had mentioned earlier that I listened to the radio, and radio commentators, Joe Madison and others, are quick to say what Jesus would say or do. And Joe Madison is interesting, because Joe Madison, every other word is a curse word that he puts some money in a swear jar, because every other word is a curse word. But these folks will pontificate about what Jesus taught and what Jesus would do. Jude this morning is endeavoring to get us to now listen to these people. Jude is encouraging us, is exhorting us to go back to the scriptures ourselves and see what the scriptures say is being taught and what Jesus stood for. And I encourage you this morning, he gives some examples and talks about what happened to the Israelites when God brought them across. He talks about what happened to the angels who kept not their first estate. And then he also talks about what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. 3 examples that he gives how we can get caught short. And let me give you another example of something that brewing to help put this in perspective. Justice Kennedy has announced his retirement, and Donald Trump looks like he's about to nominate his second justice in 2 years. That's unprecedented. But what I'm getting at is the Bible tells us to try to live peaceably with all men. Well, we know Donald Trump, that's not a part of his makeup. We know the Bible also tells us to try to live with a good report. And what I'm getting at here is that when you look at Justice Kennedy, my wife said, and let me preface it with saying my wife even said, because I say it like that because my wife doesn't normally, she doesn't really pay much attention to that stuff. But my wife said to me, what do you think Donald Trump did to get that man to retire? What do you think? How do you think they must have something on it? Well, lo and behold, come to find out that Justice Kennedy's son runs with Donald Trump's son. And Justice Kennedy's son is reputed to have gotten $1 billion loan from Donald Trump that, from what I understand, still has not been paid back. Can I get an amen? They all in this thing together. Now, and you got Congress, you got the Republican Judiciary Committee and the House of Representatives hammering the FBI and the Justice Department about the Mueller investigation, demanding all kinds of documents with respect to an open investigation, knowing that they're violating the Constitution, they're violating the law, and they're violating ethics. Well, now, come to find out, we've got a justice who has stepped down under unusual circumstances, whose son is running with the president's sons who are involved in a bank that's been under investigation by the FBI, the State Department, the Justice Department for years. Something doesn't smell right. Y'all understand what I'm saying here? And so what I'm trying to get across here, and these same people will be sitting up in church on Sunday today, and their pastors will stand at the door as they walk out and shake their hand and tell them what a good job that they're doing, and whatever it is that they're doing, something is not right, Jude is saying. Jude is saying that we have somehow become desensitized to what the Word of God says, and we need to go back to that old landmark. We need to go back to that old time religion where man's word is his word, where right is right and wrong is wrong. We need to understand that if you compromise one place, once you open the door, you'll just keep on compromise. So Jude this morning wants us to understand that we must just stand on the word of God. Do unto others as you would have others to do unto you. Stand on the word of God. Love and just keep on loving. Love doesn't puff itself up. Love doesn't hold on to grudges. Love doesn't keep a record. Love doesn't behave unseemly. They're whining about Maxine, I think her name is Waters, is that her name? Yeah. Maxine Waters, they're whining and moaning and groaning because she said, catch him at the gas station, catch him at the restaurant, catch him at the mall, wherever you catch him, let them know what you think about. Now, these are the same people that were clapping Donald Trump when he said, when you put him in the car, hit him in the head a couple times. You know, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You know, this is the same man these same commentators and people who are whining, and it's interesting. They will show Maxine Waters saying what she's saying and talk about how wrong that is, and then they'll play a clip about a kid who jumped out of a car or ran down the street who hadn't done anything wrong, got shot 3 times in the back, and they say he was justified. The man was justified for shooting him, and he shouldn't have run. We have become cockeyed. We've become desensitized. We're complaining. We being black folks now are complaining about how brown babies are being treated at the border when they've been treating our kids like this for 500 years. And some of us, now I'm not saying that means that we participate or encourage the abuse of other people. But what I'm saying is we're in the same boat. We're in it together. And the same people that have been abusing us for 400 or 500 years are the same people that are abusing these people down at the border. As a matter of fact, the same people that have had their feet on our necks for 400 or 500 years are the same people that created the conditions in the countries that these people are running from. Can I get an amen? Jude is saying that all these things that I have described are going on, and they are unfortunately actively being participated in and oftentimes encouraged by the church. When you look at some of these major corporations, you will find out that some of the largest churches in the world own stock in these corporations, including the Catholic Church. Jude is saying that we need to stop and step back and take a look at ourselves and sort of, take a long, hard look at ourselves and see what it is that we say we stand for and what we believe. He's saying that once we do that, we'll understand that, as Isaiah said in the 6th chapter of Isaiah, I am a man of unclean lips and I live amongst an unclean people. It's saying that we'll understand and appreciate that we need to do some things differently. And the question is, who's going to step up to the plate and begin to make a change? Because it's hard to go against the grain. But Jude, the writer of Jude this morning said somebody has got to take the first step. My brothers and sisters, as we prepare to partake of the fruit of the vine and the bread, we need to understand that the wages of sin is death. And sin is missing the mark. All these situations and circumstances that I have described this morning are instances where we collectively have missed the mark. And the wages of sin is death. But the gift of God is eternal. We need to call a sin a sin. There's no big sin, no little sin. Sin is sin. We need to understand that when we come before this table, we need to confess our sins. We need to cleanse ourselves. And God is faithful once we have confessed and repented. God is faithful to forgive us for our sins. And so we need to come right when we come to the table. Things are going on in the world that are going on in the world because we who are in church are not practicing the religion that we say we believe. We say we believe that Jesus is the Son of God and that God raised him from the dead. We say he is the Lord of our lives. Then we ought to act like Jesus is Lord. If God is really God and in charge of everything, if he's all powerful and has all power, heaven and earth in his hands, then we ought to act like our God is God, as Elijah did on the mountain, and rain down fire and brimstone wherever rain, and fire and brimstone need to be rained down. If we partake of these elements, we need to be mindful that our responsibility is to go forth to the hedges, highways, and byways of life and tell the dying world that the Savior has already come. We need to carry the message, letting people know that Jesus was here and he's coming back. And when he comes back, he's coming for a church without a spot or a wrinkle. We need to tell them that you want to party, but there ain't going to be no party like the party when Jesus gets back. But not everybody can come to the party. Y'all like to have a good time? Tell them you want to have a good time. There's going to be a good time when Jesus comes back. You want to have some dancing and shouting, and there's going to be dancing and shouting when Jesus comes back. But not everybody is going to get a ticket to get in. You need to tell them that there's only one way to get in, and that is to profess and believe in faith in Jesus, that he is the Son of God, and that God has raised him from the dead. And the beauty of it is, you can't shuck and jive God. You can fool me, and you can fool yourselves and each other, but you can't fool God. What am I saying? I'm saying you can mouth whatever you want to mouth, but a tree is judged by the fruit it bears. Faith without works is dead. And you can come up into the church and you can join all the committees and all the boards, and every time the church doors open, you can be there clapping, patting your feet, and you can shout and slob all over the place and everything, and you can bust hell wide open, because God knows your heart. It's not enough to profess or believe in faith, but you must believe what you say you're professing, and it's borne out by the way you live. So as we come to a close, as we tell people and we give them the gospel message about God so loving the world, we conclude with telling them that Jesus, who knew no sin, became sin for us. Jesus, who had done no wrong, was wrong for us. While we were killing him, he was dying for us. While we were hanging him on the cross, he was forgiving us. While we were spitting on him and jeering at us, he was asking his Father to forgive us. And having done all that he had assigned to do, he declared, "It is finished. I have accomplished that for which I have come." I came to give them a new opportunity, and they have received that new opportunity. And Jesus was taken down off that cross and buried in a borrowed tomb. He stayed there Friday night, all day Saturday. But early Sunday morning he got up, and he lives today. We need to tell somebody that same resurrection power is available for them in their lives. That same resurrection power is available in whatever your circumstance or situation is. You can call on the name of Jesus. You can declare his power. And the Bible says, let the sick say, I am healed. Let the weak say, I am strong. Whatever you need, I am that I am. God is ever there with you. The door of the church is open. Maybe a man, woman, boy, girl, who is not yet professing believing faith in Jesus, that he's the Son of God, and God has raised him from the dead. Come by letter, come